Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today, we're tackling a case straight from India. And let me tell you, it's got everything. Corporate drama, accusations flying left and right, and, oh yeah, even a whiff of forgery. We're diving deep into the world of KVR
The
Industries.
paper factory, you say.
You got it. Well, a paper factory that found itself in a world of financial hurt.
And when I say hurt, I mean staring down the barrel of insolvency kind of hurt. We're talking court orders, legal documents, the works, the National Company Law Tribunal, the NCLT, a Amaravati bench, to be precise. This isn't your average bankruptcy filing.
Now, I know what you're thinking, insolvency paper factories. Sounds riveting, but trust me on this one, folks. This deep dive is anything but dull. We're talking about a company, KVR Industries, desperate for a lifeline, and a financial white knight, Bafna Ventures, swooping in to save the day. Or so they thought.
But there's always a twist, right? This is where it gets juicy. See, both sides, KVR Industries and Bafna Ventures, are pointing fingers, each claiming the other broke their agreements, big time. It's a classic case of he said, she said, but with millions of rupees hanging in the balance, high stakes, high drama.
Okay, let's rewind for a second and set the stage. Picture this. A paper factory, just chugging along, in Saras and Appellate village. This is KVR Industries, our protagonist, or perhaps antagonist, depending on how you see it. But they're in trouble, facing a cash crunch so severe it's pushing them to the brink. Enter Bafna Ventures, our potential savior, checkbook in hand, ready to pump some life into this struggling factory.
And we're not just talking about a simple loan agreement here. Oh no, they went all in, crafting a tangled web of agreements. We've got a business management agreement, a share subscription and shareholders agreement, try saying that 3 times fast, and an intercorporate deposit agreement.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a lot of legal jargon for one little paper factory. Makes you wonder if all this paperwork was just setting them up for failure from the get-go. What do you think?
It's a great question, and it highlights a crucial point in any business dealing, really. Due diligence is paramount, especially when you're talking about this kind of financial commitment. You got to know who you're getting into bed with, so to speak.
And in this case, it seems both sides were pretty quick to start throwing punches. The financial muscle, Bafna Ventures, came out swinging, accusing KVR Industries of some seriously shady business practices, misusing funds, playing fast and loose with the bank accounts, and to top it off, failing to produce those all-important financial reports. Not exactly building a foundation of trust, are they?
Yeah, you said it. Transparency, accountability, those are non-negotiables when you're dealing with investments of this magnitude. If those are missing, well, you're just asking for trouble.
But hold on, KVR Industries wasn't about to go down without a fight. They fired back with some pretty hefty accusations of their own. They claimed Bafna Ventures was trying to pull a fast one, muscle their way in and seize control of the whole company. They even cried forgery.
Oh boy, and that's where things get really interesting. We're talking allegations of doctored signatures on crucial legal documents. KVR Industries even brought in a private forensic team to back up their claims.
Whoa, hold the phone. A real-life corporate thriller right here in our studio. So they're saying Bafna Ventures cooked the books to push them out of the picture. Is that what we're looking at?
That's the million-rupee question, isn't it? Of course, in any legal battle, it all comes down to the evidence. And that's where this forensic report comes in. Think of it like a financial CSI episode, analyzing those signatures, scrutinizing those documents, trying to separate fact from fiction.
I'm already on the edge of my seat. So we've got accusations flying, a forensic investigation, and enough money at stake to make your head spin. What happens next? Give us the play-by-play.
Well, Bafna Ventures, feeling like their investment was circling the drain, decided it was time to bring in the legal big guns. They filed an insolvency petition. We're talking case number CP24-2019 for our legal eagles out there, straight to the NCLT, hoping to recoup their losses and then some.
So they're essentially saying, all right, enough is enough. We're taking this show to court.
Precisely. But just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, another player enters the game. Another creditor, M. Warriors Eshwar Enterprises, throws their hat in the ring, slapping KVR Industries with a separate insolvency case. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. Oh man, talk about a twist. With 2 insolvency petitions on the table, the NCLT had their work cut out for them. They had to pick a lane, right? So they decided to put Bafna Ventures' case on hold for a bit. Basically said, let's see what shakes out with this other case first.
Ugh. So a temporary reprieve for KVR Industries. But I have a feeling this isn't the end of the story, is it?
You're one step ahead of me. The plot thickens. That second case wraps up and boom, PP Bafna Ventures is back with a vengeance, ready to reignite their insolvency petition.
Yeah,
They're not letting this go, not by a long shot.
Talk about persistence.
Mhm.
So we've got this legal battle royale raging on, accusations flying faster than, well, you get the picture. But before we dive back into that courtroom drama, let's unpack these financial arrangements, shall we? Starting with that mouthful, the Intercorporate Deposit Agreement, or ICDA, as the lawyers like to call it.
Right. This is where PP Bafna Ventures put their money where their mouth was, advancing a Coolars
Yay.
12.55 crores to KVR Industries.
Okay, for those of us who don't speak fluent crore, that's a whole lot of money. We're talking millions of dollars.
Exactly. And they weren't doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. They expected a return. A cool 6% per year, to be exact. It was like a high-stakes loan designed to give KVR Industries the financial oxygen they desperately needed.
Makes sense. High risk, high reward, as they say. But this ICDA had some strings attached, right?
Oh, absolutely. There was a clause in there stating that PP Bafna Ventures couldn't just demand their money back for a full 36 months unless KVR Industries tripped up, breached the agreement somehow.
So a bit of breathing room for KVR Industries to get their act together. But naturally, PP Bafna Ventures claim that KVR broke the agreement, which, if true, would mean they could call in their chips, right?
Bingo. And they pointed to that business management agreement, the BMA, as Exhibit A. Remember, that agreement laid out the ground rules for how these two companies were going to work together, manage KVR Industries. And there were some pretty important stipulations in there, especially about joint bank accounts.
Joint bank accounts sounds pretty standard, no? What's the issue there?
Well, according to PP Bafna Ventures, KVR Industries wasn't exactly playing by the rules. They accused them of blocking access to those accounts, even allegedly siphoning funds to a different bank without their consent.
Ooh, sneaky. Not a good look when you're trying to convince an investor that you're on the up and up.
Exactly. And it gets worse. PP Bafna Ventures also claimed that KVR Industries dropped the ball on providing a proper annual business plan, which was a key requirement outlined in that BMA. It's like they weren't taking the agreement or the investment seriously.
And let's not forget about that other agreement, that behemoth we talked about earlier, the Share Subscription and Shareholders Agreement, SSHA, the one where PP Bafna Ventures agreed to pony up ours 2.45 crores for a piece of the KVR Industries pie.
Right. They were going all in, becoming part owners, sharing the risk. But even with that agreement, PP Bafna Ventures cried foul, saying KVR Industries was playing fast and loose, violating clauses related to asset transfers and other key provisions.
So from where PP Bafna Ventures was sitting, KVR Industries was breaking promises left and right, like a bull in a china shop. Agreements in tatters, trust completely shattered.
And this is a cautionary tale for anyone listening, especially if you're thinking about putting your hard-earned money into a business. Clear agreements are vital, absolutely, but making sure the other party actually sticks to their word, that's even more important.
Words to live by. It's a tough lesson to learn, but this case really drives home the importance of being proactive, doing your homework, and protecting yourself every step of the way.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now back to the courtroom showdown. Remember how the NCLT initially put PP Bafna Ventures' insolvency petition on ice because of that other case?
Right. The legal curveball. What happened next?
Well, once that other case was settled, PP Bafna Ventures came back swinging, demanding their case be put back on the docket.
Makes sense. They weren't going to just walk away from their investment without a fight.
You got it. And KVR Industries, knowing they were back in the hot seat, they decided to double down. They accused PP Bafna Ventures of straight-up forgery.
Wait, are we talking about a conspiracy theory here? Did they have any evidence to back that up?
Not quite a conspiracy theory, but definitely a bold move. They presented that private forensic report we talked about earlier, claiming it proved that signatures on key documents were forged. They were aiming to discredit PP Bafna Ventures, hoping to derail the whole insolvency case.
So a classic legal tactic: create enough doubt, muddy the waters, and hope the case gets tossed out. But did it work? Did the NCLT buy it?
Well, the NCLT did allow PP Bafna Ventures to withdraw the disputed documents, but ultimately they decided to reinstate the insolvency petition.
Oh, that's got a sting if you're KVR Industries. So despite their best efforts, the forgery accusations, the stalling tactics, the insolvency case is back on track.
You got it. But KVR Industries, they weren't done yet, not even close. They decided to take their case up the ladder, appealing to the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. The NCLA.
Yes, the NCLAC, the big leagues of Indian corporate law. They're essentially saying to the NCLT, hold on a sec. We need a second opinion here.
That's one way to put it. And their appeal rested on two big points. First, they doubled down on those forgery allegations, claiming the NCLT should have dug deeper, investigated those claims more thoroughly.
And the second point.
Second, they argued that the NCLT messed up by putting the insolvency petition back on the table in the first place. They were throwing everything they had at the wall, hoping something would stick.
So they're hoping the NCLT will side with them, overrule the NCLT, and bring this whole insolvency nightmare to an end. What did the NCLT say? Did they agree with KVR Industries?
Well, this is where things take another fascinating turn. The NCLT agreed with KVR Industries on one hand, but not the other. See, they upheld the NCLT's decision to restore the insolvency petition. They basically said, yeah, this case has merit, let's keep this train moving. But, and this is a big but, they also sent a clear message to the NCLT, clarifying their power to conduct a preliminary inquiry into allegations like this.
So the NCLA basically told the NCLT, look, you have the power to investigate these forgery claims, but in this specific case, we're not convinced. We don't see enough red flags to warrant a full-blown investigation.
It was a nuanced ruling for sure. A good reminder that even though KVR Industries raised some eyebrows with their accusations, the NCLI ultimately put their faith in the NCLT's judgment. The insolvency process, with all its complexities and plot twists, was allowed to proceed.
Okay, so after all that legal back and forth, where did things land? Did KVR Industries manage to pull themselves out of the quicksand, or do they have to face the music?
Well, with the legal battles winding down, the focus shifted to finding a real solution for KVR Industries, a way to move forward, and that's where the resolution plan comes in.
Ah, yes, the resolution plan, a glimmer of hope in the often turbulent world of insolvency. What did this plan entail? Give us the details.
In this case, a consortium led by Mr. Bhupinder Reddy emerged as the winning candidate, so to speak. Their proposal: a settlement totaling roughly Rs 25.7 crores to be paid in installments. Tranches, as they say in the finance world.
Okay, break it down for me. The tranches, the crores. How does a multi-crore rupee settlement actually work in practice?
Imagine a cake, right? But instead of cutting it into equal slices, you've got 3 pieces, each a different size. That's our tranches. The first tranche was set at Rs 2.6 crores, payable within 30 days of getting the NCLT's blessing. Then you've got the second tranche, another Rs 2.6 crores, due within 120 days. The third tranche, though, that was the big one, a maximum of Rs 20.5 crores, payable within 180 days. This kind of structure, it gave KVR Industries a little wiggle room, allowed them to adjust those payments based on how their financial recovery was going.
It sounds like a pretty well thought out plan, designed to give KVR Industries a fighting chance, while also ensuring that the creditors, the ones who were owed money, actually got something back. But this wasn't just about settling debts, was it? What about those claims of mismanagement, the broken agreements, the whole shebang? Did the resolution plan address those issues?
You're hitting on a crucial point. A resolution plan, it's not just about balancing the books, it's about charting a new course, a way forward. And in this case, the resolution professional, the one tasked with overseeing this whole process, they took those allegations seriously. Remember that independent forensic report KVR Industries commissioned. The resolution professional went a step further, bringing in an independent investigative agency to do their own due diligence, just to be extra sure.
So it's like a second set of eyes, making sure everything's on the up and up, giving everyone involved that extra layer of confidence, right?
Precisely. And the committee of creditors, the COCC, they're the ones representing everyone who is owed money. They didn't just rubber stamp this plan. They reviewed multiple proposals, not just the one from Mr. Bhupinder Reddy's group. It was thorough, with creditors carefully weighing their options to determine the best way forward.
It's good to know they weren't messing around. They were doing their homework, looking out for everyone's best interests. What was the final verdict? What did the COCC decide?
They voted, unanimously I might add, in favor of the plan put forward by Mr. Bhupinder Reddy's consortium. A resounding vote of confidence, if you ask me.
Unanimous. Wow, that's impressive. Sounds like this plan really ticked all the boxes. Addressing the debt, laying out a clear path forward, and even incorporating those additional layers of scrutiny. So what did the NCLT have to say about all this? Did they give it the green light?
The NCLT reviewed everything. The resolution plan, the COCC's recommendation, the whole 9 yards. And you know what? They gave it the thumbs up. But it wasn't a blanket approval. They included some specific conditions for Mr. Bhupinder Reddy's consortium to meet.
Ah, so even with the green light, there was still some hoops to jump through, some legal hurdles to clear. What kind of conditions are we talking about?
One of the key conditions involved tweaking KVR Industries' Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. their company rule book, the guidelines that dictate how they operate.
So basically hitting refresh on their operational DNA, making sure everyone is on the same page, playing by the same rules.
Exactly. But it didn't end there. The NCLT, they wanted to keep a close eye on things, make sure everything was going according to plan. So they mandated that Mr. Bhupinder Reddy's consortium provide regular progress reports detailing every step of the implementation process.
Transparency and accountability? Music to any investor's ears? It sounds like the NCLT wasn't leaving anything to chance.
Not a chance. And to top it all off, in a final act of transparency, the NCLT directed Mr. Bhupinder Reddy's consortium to share copies of their order with both the co-keys and the original applicant, PP Bafna Ventures. No surprises, everyone stays informed.
Talk about tying up loose ends. So there you have it, folks. A story of financial turmoil, legal battles, and ultimately a glimmer of hope for a brighter future. This deep dive into the world of KVR Industries shows us that even when it seems like the walls are closing in, there are mechanisms in place to protect stakeholders and give businesses a fighting chance at a second act. What did you make of all this?
It's a fascinating case study, no doubt about it, and it highlights some of the complexities and nuances of doing business in India. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Are the current regulations robust enough? Do they strike the right balance between protecting investors and fostering a healthy business environment? Lots to ponder.
Big questions indeed, and ones we'll continue grappling with as India's economy continues to evolve. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this journey. Until next time.